How the fuck is everybody doing? I thought I'd do a little bit of live Q&A. Just ask anything. Try to stick to weight loss stuff that's not going to get this channel deleted because YouTube is a punk ass bitch. So just try to do what you can to make sure you ask questions. It won't cause the channel to get deleted, and I'll try to answer them as readily as possible. But if you ask something directly about like all sorts of crazy shit that's going on, they'll likely just try to delete the channel. And I know for many of you that would probably be the thing you're looking for. But for the rest of us, let's just try to make it so we don't get deleted. Alex Green, how the fuck you doing, man? How the fuck you doing? What's going on? Anybody? And we can just get right into the questions if you want. What's up? I'm just gonna I wanted to give a little bit of opportunity for people to talk about weight loss. Just do some weight loss Q&A for everybody. Just just try to help everybody out because we're coming into the dark winter, and everybody should try to be as healthy as possible because we're coming into another dark winter. Of apparently very terrifying things. I don't know, like another year of a bad cold. I did want to tell everybody, and I'll be putting it in here in a second. Give me 1 second. We are still running a special for thoughts on thoughts. It's just that Rebecca, it's like an extra fiber. I personally try to get get fiber just from like actual vegetables and stuff like that. But we do have a little bit in the cabinet of like fiber aids and stuff like that. Especially if I'm heavily meat focused for like a few weeks at a time, I want to make sure that I actually get some in. So it's a good fiber supplement. That's it. It's just a supplement. Any update on the appetite suppressant? Me and Mark are talking about it readily. Okay, just there's all sorts of stuff with supply chain, all sorts of stuff too that we're lucky that we're being able to work through. But hopefully within the next month or so, we'll have some like actual dates of release, if not released. So I'm very excited. I'm 3 days out from a powerlifting meet. How should I eat, drink those days before? I'm not a powerlifting coach. So you should ask a powerlifting coach. If you are 3 days out from a powerlifting meet, you should have a powerlifting coach. I'm not that kind of coach, so therefore I'm not going to tell you how to eat because I think that would be very bad for me and you. So that's something that doesn't happen in the fitness world very often, where when people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, they actually shut the fuck up and say, I don't know. Apparently, every fitness person feels that they should be able to speak on every single topic as if they know what the fuck they're talking about, when most of them have no fucking idea. It's kind of crazy. Give me 1 second. We're going to talk about a few things here. So for those of you, oops, hang on a second. It's midday on the way to bed. It's midday for me. So, hey man, planning on getting your book for my dad. Anything I'd be aware of before giving it to him? I swear a lot in it. So that's about it. So, hi from the UK. Is it worth supplementing vitamin D for most people? It is absolutely worth it. Most people are vitamin D deficient, and vitamin D it does help with antiviral loads. It also helps with watching systemic inflammation. It also stops things like cytokine storms in your lungs, which is something that people are dying of. So this is, I'm putting in here the link to a 3-month coaching special. Bam, bam, bam. You should all check that out at your earliest convenience. If you have a problem with the holiday season putting on a little bit extra weight, and you're worried that this is the 20 or 30 pounds you're going to put on over the holiday season, it's going to give you a heart attack or cause you to have type 2 diabetes or be much more susceptible to passing away of, what would be things that were negligible worry to healthy weighted people. You can check it out. We help people on a daily basis, talk to them on our app, weekly video conference calls with me and the wife, and we try to help people adjust their lifestyle bit by bit by bit while teaching them the skills they need to make further adjustments once they're done with coaching. So there's a 3-month special. We have a few slots open. Please do check it out. I'm going to, oops. Didn't that message? There we go. There we go. Okay, it's good, good, good. It's pinned, and then I'm going to put it in here again. Bam. There we go. All right, so we're going to get to some questions now. See what we got going on. What's my best advice for life? for life, to stay as healthy as possible. No kidding. Like, the more you take care of your body physically, the better your mental outlook is, and very realistically, the better it is for you in the long run of your life. It's less expensive to be healthy than it is to be sickly, because you don't have lost work, you don't have pain, suffering, that sort of thing. So be healthy. That's my best advice. Also, is awesome sauce nearby? I don't know. Oh, she's eating. She's eating right now. And I can pretty much tell you that she's eating because she's not next to one of us. That's what she does. Yeah, we just fed him. See? Are you still upset when people fat shame your cat? I was never upset that they fat shamed her. She's fat. So like she's obese. Why would I get upset at something that's true? I wasn't upset when people fucking called me fat when I was fat, because it was the truth. Why would I be upset that somebody calls my cat, who is fat, fat? She is indeed fat. When I say don't fat shame my cat, that's meant to be as like a joke. She doesn't fucking know, and trust me, if she does not care. She does not care. I at all. What are your thoughts on diet soda? Diet soda, why ingest it? That it's done only for pleasure. It's highly rid of chemicals, and to be real, most of the time it just makes people miss the real thing. So, and because of the sweet flavor of it, for most of the time, it still causes people to crave other foods and possibly overeat. And that's sort of like studies showing that. Let's see, dear Alan, you've inspired me to take action and discipline my way out of a burnout from work. Career for the disabled. Gratitude and respect from the UK. Very fucking cool. Thank you very much. And how can I convince my 400 plus pound family members to start walking? Offer to go for walks with them. Like say, hey, let's go for a walk. Hey, would you like to go for a walk here? Hey, like let's get some activity. Be there for them. If you're not in the same generalized area as them, you can still just be like, maybe you should go for a walk every day. You'd really like this, that, the other thing. It looks pretty out here. Blah blah blah. Let's see. At least you're not in denial about your fat cat. No, she's very fat. She absolutely is fat. And hang on a second. Is there any real benefit to extended fasting? I watched a video talking about it, and it just seems unhealthy to me. It depends on what you mean by extended. Like I ate for the first time about an hour ago, and I'll probably eat again probably by about 5. And then you know what? Tonight's actually an anomaly. We ate kind of early for both my meals, and then we're gonna have Wednesday night is our popcorn night. So we watch a TV show together and have popcorn together, my wife and I, in the evening after she's done teaching a live class, which is also if you take us up on our 3 months coaching special, you get tons of live and pre-recorded yoga, hit style training, that sort of thing too. But if you mean like well over a week or something, a lot of people do that for religious reasons. Sometimes it's still not seen as great. You definitely don't dry fast when it's super long, obviously, because you need fluids. I think dry fasting is some of the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard of. To actually not ingest fluids is fucking radically stupid to me and should not be prescribed by anybody except the doctor. And even then, I'd be like, what the fuck? Why? Explain thoroughly. Because doctors need to explain shit thoroughly to you. Your doctor should be able to tell you exactly why you need to take something all the way through the whole process. But to the to the extended fasting thing, if you're talking about like people not eating for a month or so, like what are you taking in to make sure your electrolytes stay good? What are you taking? Like there needs to be so much other shit by that. And if you're going to take in stuff just for your electrolytes and stuff like that, why not just take in some nourishment and just eat less? I never found anybody that gave me a good explanation for extended fasting. Just my opinion, though. Do whatever you want. Can we give an update on the hunger supplements we're developing? We are working on packaging and stuff like that right now. Absolutely, and it is made. It's 4 patented ingredients put together at clinical doses. They're human-tested clinical doses. We pretty much call it hater-proof over here. I mean, because there's human testing data to support the claims to be made. So we're very fucking excited about it. It is just one of those things where you want to do very correctly. You want to make sure you've got all the legal aspects covered, meaning like the name, that sort of thing. So we're very excited for it too. Very, very, very excited for it. We think it's going to change the world, but that's why you got to make sure it's done right. You know. So hopefully within the next month or so, it'll be on the market. If one reverses pre-diabetes and is very active every day and is then safer to eat more carbs, healthy ones, without pre-diabetes returning, you'd have to ask your doctor about that. But that is such an individualized thing that I would never say yes to that at all. Because for the biggest reason is if carbs were the problem to begin with, most of the time they're going to end up being the problem again. But you don't need carbohydrates. You just don't need them. You know what I mean? So, and if you're pre-diabetic and you cut out carbohydrates to take yourself away from being diabetic, I'm going to suggest that whatever you did to get healthy is what you need to do to stay healthy. That would be my biggest advice. So the video is talking about a 40-hour fast. I just don't know why. I don't understand why. Like, I mean, for some people, I get it. Like, some people fast for a whole day and then they only eat 6 days of the week. I get it. 40 hours, you're approaching 2 whole days. I can maybe see it for certain things, such as maybe to help with lower inflammation in your digestional tract and certain things like that. I just think if it's a YouTube video done by a random person stating that it's good for weight loss, there's a lot more involved in stuff like that. Is the person going to then binge afterwards too? You know, like that's more of an individualized thing. 40 hours isn't bad though. I've almost done that by accident before. I've definitely done like 30 some hours by accident before, where you just get so busy. And then when we first started testing the product, my hunger wasn't there. So if I didn't get reminded to eat, especially after being such a slave to food for a while before, if I didn't get reminded to eat, it wasn't an actual thing in my head. You know. Let's see here. Ellen, hi, thanks for all you're doing. Just going to listen and doze after physical therapy. Cool, very good, very good. I hope physical therapy is going well. Would you ever consider making your own line of supplements where you were in charge of actual ingredients? We are. That's what I was just talking about. We are. But I'm never going to do a performance supplement. Like pre-workouts and stuff like that. There's plenty of those things to be marketed. Mark has tons of good stuff like that on his own. For me, I want to worry about systemic inflammation, blood sugar control, appetite suppression and control, assistance on dopamine addiction for sugar addiction and things like that. Like those are the products I want to make. Good skin care for people that were and are obese, to make sure that they don't get infections, those sorts of things. That's what I want. That's the stuff that I want to help with. Performance supplements, like I don't give a fuck about your creatine. I don't. Like, I don't care. I don't care about your creatine. I don't care about any of that other shit. So, but what we are. So, have you heard of the 600-pound Dan Sobel? I have not. Alan reminds me of J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. Oh, I've never heard that before. What a shocking thing. Just finished my workout and did your live. It's a solid morning. What's up, motherfucker? How you doing? It's not interested. I'm not interested in the fast myself. I was just curious about your thoughts. Thank you for your reply. Of course. And I mean, it's not a dumb question at all. Like, we have some people, like I said, like week-long fast, I think is a little crazy, because they're just begging for some sort of that's disordered eating, if you ask me. But to miss a day, some people are better with it. And again, I know plenty of people that do OMAD all the time because they have some sort of digestional or GI tract issue. Diverticulitis, sometimes it helps out with Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, IBS, those sorts of things. Where if the more times you ingest food, like every time you ingest food is considered a foreign substance by your body. So your body actually gets inflamed a little bit, like your stomach lining, your intestines all inflame a little bit as they're working. That's why one of the reasons why, like the 6-7 times a day thing, like people are like, oh, it keeps your metabolism up. Not that much, to a great degree. And also, it's just your gut's constantly working. So there's constant state of inflammation in your gut. And for people that have issues with their GI tract, oftentimes it causes discomfort and everything like that. I know plenty of people that take care of those sorts of things, like IBS and everything like that, by fasting, eating 1 meal a day. That's it. Let's see. What do I think of Stan Ekberg? I'm not familiar enough with his content to make a statement. Let's see. You're a 15-year-old girl. I suggest you talk to your parents. I'm not going to get to your question. Hi, how you doing? Grant, how are you? Ryan, Is there a time and place for protein-focused food like Magic Spoon's protein-based cereal or Michelle's line of protein donuts? I think that stuff like that taken at the end of the day on occasion as your the sweet thing you have, I see no issue with it. I eat an outright bar a couple times a week, and because they're made with honey and just a few other natural ingredients like cashew butter and stuff like that. The cashew butter donut one is just ridiculous. It's so good, and it's made with honey. It's not made with added sugar, but and even then, it's still considered a sweet treat to me. I think Michelle's Donuts would fall under that line. It's a protein donut. You could have it as a dessert. Why not? I think donuts for breakfast are still fried dough for breakfast. I mean, and I've never tried one of her donuts. I hear they're phenomenal, though. It's not saying that hers is a fried piece of dough. What I am saying is I still would have that later on in the evening. That way, you get to have it as a treat. It's something eaten for pleasure because you do not need it. You just don't need it. But Magic Spoon's protein-based cereal, again, I would have that as a dessert. It's going to be sweet. It's anything that tastes sweet, think of it as a treat. Think of it as your dessert for the day. Even if it's fruit, oftentimes, think of it as a treat. Because you can get your vitamins and minerals and nutrients and all that stuff via vegetables just as easy as fruit. Okay. A lot of times when people are trying to quit sugar addiction from us, one of the things that happens to them is that they go to pineapple and banana everything because they're like the sweetest high sugar content fruits. Let's see. I was watching something called Common Ground where people from widely opposed viewpoints try to find some points they can agree on. Do you have anything you could agree on with the fat acceptance people? Not really. We've already done that, though. It's called Mutual Ground. It's done by the Tease group, the same people that you can look up Alan Roberts Mutual Ground on YouTube and you'll find it. It's where I basically devastated this doctor who's pro fat acceptance. How you doing, Doc Woolrich? I fucked you up. I got him to admit that there actually was, because he's a big weight stigma guy. Like, weight stigma causes more problems than weight. You fucking loon bags. So stupid. But I got him to admit that there was a weight that he would actually prescribe weight loss for. He wouldn't give me an exact weight, but I just had to get him to admit, but there is a weight he would because being obese is unhealthy. And he admitted there was. And then I also got him to admit that obesity causes cancer at a higher rate than 13 different types of cancer at a higher rate than smoking, just because that's the science. And if you agree that that's just the science, then the science also dictates that being 400 pounds is bad for your knees because gravity exists. So not really. The fat acceptance community to me is a bastardized version of trying to be positive about yourself. Accepting obesity is very, very dangerous. Now, body positivity, the way it was more normally meant to be, absolutely. But I do think that people should be working on their health all the time. But fat acceptance, just accepting obesity, I would have a hard time believing that any of them could convince me that there's any way mutual ground. Maybe that the fact that I don't, because I know many people disagree with this, but I don't actually shame people. I don't think that the making fun of a person's appearance necessarily does anything good and any good for them. I don't think it does. I do think that people have a right to do so if they want to, because freedom of speech. And if you don't like it, don't listen to it. Just to be real, I don't personally, think that it's productive to make fun of somebody's appearance. Now, feeling shame over being like, if you're a type 2 diabetic and you take insulin to counteract the sugar you ate that day because you decided that you just wanted it, even though you're type 2 diabetic, you should be a little ashamed of that. Got to be real. Like, you're hurting yourself and you know it. Like, there should be some shame involved because it's a very negative action, and that's what shame should be used for. Like things like if your child is 300 pounds at the age of 12 years old and you're still feeding it a steady diet of fast food and not even concerned about their well-being and stuff like that, not even trying to get them to be at a healthy weight, even if it involves you being at a healthy weight, you should be ashamed of that. You're a fucking shitty parent. But, the shaming of people for their appearance, we might be able to agree on that. But it's also to the point where you got to agree that people have a right to their own fucking opinion too, So it just depends on how you look at it. I highly doubt you would get anybody from the fat acceptance community that would in any way be able to debate me, because my thing is your feelings have nothing to fucking do with it, and they're all feelings. So that would be the hard part. Let's see, Jacob, literally having the plate method at 9:30 for certain groups such as proteins, veggie starch, carbs will help keep you full for a long time. With 30 or more ounces of water does wonders, plus moving and 30 more minutes of activity. I agree. I think that people should try to make sure that they do 30 minutes of activity, 30 minutes of sleep prep, 30 minutes of stress relief. a day. Try to wake up in your day, focus on fluid first thing. Take your body weight in pounds, divide it by 2. That's the number of ounces as a minimum you should take in for fluid. Those sorts of things. But when we talk about these things like 930 for certain food groups, that's probably what helped you. But a lot of people, it's just got to click with them. It's got to be a little different. Like we need to alter stuff. Like my wife and I try to meet everybody's lifestyle, and then when they come to us for coaching, which by the way, I'll post a link again. We have a few slots open, so check it out. But when they come to us for coaching, it's one of those things where it's like we have to take a look at everybody's lifestyle in general in a different way, because everybody's lifestyle is different. It's better to eat veggies or fruit. Is it better to eat veggies or fruit? Depends, but they're both healthy for you and everything like that. Fruit, I do believe, should be considered like nature's dessert. Have it at the end of the day. Waking up the fruit oftentimes triggers glycemic responses in people's bodies. So, but fruit or veggies are both good. I eat mostly veggies though instead of fruit. I stopped eating sugars as a processed BS, and exactly right. I started noticing I wanted bananas and watermelon specifically. It's what people do. So let's see. This is a little off topic, but what do you think? This is a little off topic, but what do you think about overcoming the supply chain crisis by shipping through Alaska and flying supplies from Alaska to Montana and Idaho and transporting it downward? I think that the supply chain problem should, if we made our ports open 24/7, and what I'm finding crazy is like there's plenty of people that could go to work. So, and we wouldn't have this problem if we produce most of our shit in the United States anyway. That's how you overcome the supply chain problem. Make sure you don't have to import that much shit. What are your thoughts on organic foods versus non-organics from a health standpoint? There's not a whole lot of difference most of the time, from what I can tell. The thing is, if you like organic grass-fed beef is is better than grain-fed beef. Like the fat profile is a little better for it. But to a certain degree, like it's not really shown, or it's not as monitored as of a word as what people think. Let's see. Here's my favorite troll. I love how you show up every single time. Like I know you have notifications on. You are like a good unpaid intern. And dude, I have plans on making hair products. Can you be my first person? I would love to, but my wife really loves me bald, like loves me bald, and I love being bald myself. So I really do. I much more prefer it. I know that that's really weird for you because I think your mom cheated on your dad with the bald headed guy, but for some reason I don't know. I mean, there's some sort of irrational bald thing going on. But whoops, neither nor. So no thanks. I'm good. Let's see. Congratulations and thank you for the donation. I lost 80 pounds, 100% due to you. You saved my life. Here's the thing. I thank you for the donation, but I got to tell you, you lost 80 pounds due to you. 100% due to you. I said shit that resonated with you in a way that resonated with you. That's it. Like you lost 80 pounds because of you, because you decided to listen. You woke up to it. You took the steps that I suggested. You're the one that had to be hungry. You're the one that had to figure this shit out. All I did was just speak some stuff that resonated with you. I appreciate the compliment, and that is the whole goal. We do try to help people as much as humanly possible while paying our bills, of course. And again, we do have a couple slots open at damcollective.com and I've been sharing the link, and it's a pinned link and everything like that. We have a couple coaching slots open for the gluttony months. But I really do want to say that you did this. Like you took care of that. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the tip, and I appreciate you the compliment. But you saved your own life. You're an actual fucking hero. The person you saved being a hero is yourself. It's a great fucking job. Hey, Alan, I want to put together a home gym, but I have a small space. What do you think is the most important piece of gym equipment I need? If you're trying to put together a home gym and you really want to save space and time and money, get a suspension system training. It is amazing. There is almost next to nothing you cannot do with it and get a good workout on it with. And it is portable in your house. All you need is a door to hang it from. I honestly think that is the best thing you can get for your home gym. I really do. I absolutely do. If you like weights, and like if you're only into weights, a good set of adjustable dumbbells, a bench. I would honestly, for a home gym, there's no need to get under a rack. Truthfully, even though I have one in the garage, there's no sense in getting under a rack. You can do goblet squats and shit like that. I wish Spat Sophia was here. She'll be here. Don't worry about it. Thoughts on shows like My 600 Pound Life? They're fake for the most part. They're fake, from what I understand about TLC. I do believe Dr. Now is a cool dude. I believe that that's the way he is. He's like 70-some years old. I don't think he's like it's a fake thing. But you know, I think shows like that are necessary. 600 Pound Life, I think, maybe is a little bit more real than some of the other ones. But I can tell you this, like fucking the Two-Stunt Family ones and like that. That's a lot of not scripted stuff, but it's not really as real as it seems. And we did get approached about doing a show for TLC at one point in time. And the second I said I would want full autonomy on how the people are coached and trained, they never responded back, like not another word. So just take that for what it is. As far as debating a Hayes person, how do you debate someone who lives in complete denial? Yeah, I mean, like the thing is, it's like they would hate debating me, and I would get frustrated debating them because I would be talking all sorts of science and common sense and stuff like that, and they would be saying that somehow everything I said was somehow some sort of phobic. It's kind of sad. Hey Alan, still watching your content daily since the algorithm suggested your video with his wrinkly shirt critique Vinny and Vince. Oh shit, that's been a long fucking time. Fucking Vinny and Vince. Jesus fucking Christ. They're fucking crazies. Cool ask from the past. Last question from me, but wanted to ask, how do you respond to the topic of food deserts come up with addressing widespread obesity? Food deserts are much more common, by the way, in the country than in the city. Much more common because it takes a lot. Like you can't just walk to a store when most of the time people can walk to a store. It's hard to believe that food deserts are still an issue. I do think that we should put money back into these neighborhoods, no matter what ethnicity the neighborhood is. Everybody should have a functioning, very, very, very good market. I also believe in community farms and those sorts of things that can be managed by the people in the community, volunteer time to the community, produce produce for said community. I think each city, each municipality should have a farm like this that people can volunteer to work at, donate their time, and then also get some of the produce out of. I think that would be a very good thing. You know, it would get people active, it would get people understanding where their food comes from, and it would also lessen the need to ship things in. And just from these people's work, just from them donating their time, they could get food from, which would be outstanding. But it is something that needs addressed. It is just not in any way close to the reason why we are at over 50% obesity, probably, and 80% overweight. We are that big because the sugar industry runs just about everything next to the pharma industry, and they run the rest of the shit. And people consume way too many fucking calories of ultra processed foods mostly. So when people bring up food deserts, it is a conversation we should be having, and I think it is a conversation that's very necessary and should be addressed. But when they bring it up as an excuse for obesity, I think that that's just reaching in a fucking grand fucking way that really doesn't do justice to the actual issue of food deserts, but also just tries to deflect from the fact that people just glutton themselves like fucking motherfuckers in America. You make bald work. I'm jealous. Thank you very much. There she is. There she is. We were looking for you. No shit. A little off topic, but what are your thoughts on quantum theory? I don't know enough about quantum theory to speak on it. So, what's your advice on training and nutrition when you're happy with your strength, flexibility, and overall ability? Should I still focus on progression? Thanks. At some point in time, progression is going to stop for everybody. Like you're either going to get to as strong as you're going to be for the work you can put in. You need to find a way to make sure that your health is just from the acts of daily living that you're going to normally do, and your nutrition for a long time. Anything else like that, you can always feed activity for athletic training. My suggestion to you would be to just try to find stuff that keeps you interested. Maybe try different styles of training. I think it's pretty interesting that people don't understand. Like one of the coolest things I think that we did over the course of the last couple of years was anytime I spoke about somebody like online, like when I started speaking about Chris Heria, I've always been into calisthenics. I did gymnastics and I was a pole vaulter when I was in high school. So I've always been into calisthenics, but I upped my calisthenics game quite a bit more when I started speaking about him. Did a lot more bounding, a lot more jumping. I did a lot more just straight calisthenic work, those sorts of things. And I think that people kind of sleep on the fact that when they actually do, get to a certain sticking point, it behooves them to kind of, I don't know, step back and be able to, assimilate new types of movement, new types of activity into their lives. It can keep things fresh and interesting, but it can also add greatly to your previous athletic endeavors. Like I immediately, like my posterior chain immediately got stronger once I started doing more calisthenics. My core got way, way, way stronger. And my agility, my flexibility, my proprioception got much, much better too. So it's one of those things where I think that everybody should try to broaden their horizons on the type of training they do. Yeah, Sophia's here. I saw her too. What's up, Richard Allison? How are you? Let's see, protein and healthy fats through the day, and whole food carbs with or after evening meal. By far the most sustainable way that controls hunger for me, and that is literally exactly how I eat. That's the basis of the hunger management method. So I'm glad you like it, man. I really am. And if you came to it on your own, congratulations also too. I'm not trying to say that you got it from me. I'm just trying to say that I totally agree with you. That works very, very, very well for me also. This is why you're such a great coach. Thank you, Samantha. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. What is more important, diet or exercise for fat loss? Nutrition is king. Nutrition is king. Exercise is something that you can't necessarily do all the time. Nutrition is king. King. And people radically overestimate the amount of calories they burn via exercise to a just outstanding degree. They overestimate it. Not a question, but I just wanted to point out that Tess Holliday spent a lot of time at Disney taking pics, but can't ride any of the rides. Very good point. I like people understand. She's a horrible, 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 lying sack of shit human being, but I do feel bad for her still. She is, the looks of her from those last set of pictures, she's got to be like 30 pounds away from serious, serious immobility. There's no way, and I'm just going to put this out there, there's no way that woman can clean herself properly. No way. She has to have assistance. It's that bad. She's got places her arms can't reach, because of the girth. It's pretty sad. Somebody in her camp should actually give a shit enough about her to fucking help her out. No shit. See, Richard Allison, a politician just claimed 31% of Medicare was spent on diabetes, and this single greatest thing we can financially do for our economy is a war on diabetes. Have you heard that number before? No, Richard, but I would love for you to DM me that conversation or whatever. I have not heard that exact number, but I can tell you very seriously that diabetes right now, type 2 diabetes in this next couple of years, America is going to spend like $1 trillion on it. The amount of diabetics, the amount of people that were pre-diabetic before all of this crazy shit happened was estimated to be like 80 million people were pre-diabetic. And then we had a year where we just had the great fattening of 2020, where everybody just stayed in. We weren't like most of you weren't even allowed to work out or go outside of your houses, and people just ordered DoorDash and got super fucking fat because they gorged themselves and watched fear porn all fucking year. So diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is going to be a massive, and I mean massive, wave of sickness that is going to overwhelm our hospital systems. Even if they do hire back all the people that they somehow fucking convince themselves that we should eliminate people during a fucking global pandemic because of them likely having natural immunity after being exposed for a year and a half. Fucking stupid shit. Stupid. Radically dumb. Radically dumb. But anyway, type 2 diabetes is going to be fucking crazy. So Richard, if you could DM me that, I would really fucking appreciate it. So many Montana companies are mandating the vaccine in order to get hired. It's freaking annoying. Give it a minute. You watch. Let's see. Food high in trans fat and sugar should be taxed like cigarettes and alcohol, and promoting it should be prohibited. But we all know money plays. No, instead our government subsidizes the sugar industry by $4 billion a year to make sugar less expensive, so they can then market it to children. And that's literally what we fucking do. We wonder why we have problems, What does HAES mean? HAES is an acronym for healthy at every size. Dude, I'm not really trying to hate, but I just want to figure a way for you to get your hair back. You would look much better, I believe. The way you'd have to do that is convince me and convince my wife, and that ain't fucking happening, you fucking weird ass. Let's see. Have you ever seen a Sonny Brothers episode? Back when you watched My 600 Pound Life, I watched a season or two of My 600 Pound Life, and I couldn't get past it. It's fucking. We have clients that are 500 some pounds, so I get enough of that. I really do. I really do. Let's see. Have to admit, listening to you did help me overcome my fear of not tracking all intake and enjoying things on special occasions. It's a big thing. Like people like get caught up on food trackers. They're a fabulous tool. They are an incredibly great tool to teach yourself about shit. But to think of them as gospel to the point where the only way, if you think the only way you can lose weight, like the only way you're serious about weight loss is if you're tracking your calories, you do not know what the fuck you're talking about. And I'm sorry if that upsets some people, and I'm sorry if that upsets other YouTubers. But if you cannot see it, that it is a tool to teach yourself the information you need so you wouldn't need that tool anymore, you're a fucking fool and don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because the very second that a person loses interest in that app, or the app crashes, or they forget their phone or something like that, that is the crutch you built up. So if you think that that is that important, if you have to track everything you put in your mouth, that is the way you need to live your life. You should be able to, like, that is just a form of disordered eating after a while. It is just a form of disordered eating after a while. That's all it is. People need to get there faster. You mentioned Crystal creating a TRX workouts for you. Are these workouts she is considering selling, sharing? They absolutely are. It is just a long process to test out every single one. I'm still on phase 4. The fifth phase it looks very, very brutal, but we will probably start marketing it here relatively shortly. I know she's worked on it immense. I personally fucking love them. They're the funnest, most neat exercises, they're neat workouts I've done in a long fucking time. Super motivating, and I really love how I can play both my music and the app timer will be like right in my ear. Like if you do it right on your phone, like it gives you the timing of it and everything like that. I really, really, really enjoy it. So yes, absolutely. She is a fucking genius. When it comes to programming and workouts, my wife is a fucking genius. Like next tier. Like she is the most qualified fitness personality you will probably, most people don't know who the fuck she is. I mean, it's fucking crazy. She's TRX certified, 2-tier, yoga certified, personal trainer, group fitness trainer. What else? Silver sneakers, so she can coach elderly people. Like there's like her list of certifications would take fucking forever. It's insane. She's so qualified. How clean do I have to eat when lean bulking? I don't suggest you lean bulk at all. I don't suggest you bulk at all. I suggest you find a pattern of what you're going to do. Like if the idea behind you bulking is that you want to gain some permanent weight, and I would just go like a few hundred calories above, or maybe even just a maintenance. It's so like a few hundred calories above is such a guesstimate anyway. It really is. I would find a way where you're eating kind of at maintenance, and then I would add maybe 100, 200 calories of protein. That's it. Find your healthy method of eating that keeps you at a healthy weight and healthy athletic status. And then add 100 to 200 calories of protein. There's your bulk. That's it. And oftentimes, and if it's for just like trying to put on weight, then to cut back on the fat, instead of adding food volume and stuff like that, this is a huge mistake I made. I wish I would have just added extra calories via supplementation, via like protein powder or something like that. Added extra calories that way. Let that be that way it's much more controllable, and then replace that slowly with food if that's the weight you stay at. But normally for most people, they bulk where they gain a few extra pounds of body fat too, and then they have to diet that back down. It's better not to do that. Why don't you make videos debunking VStrides anymore? Because what else is left to say? What the fuck else is left to say? Here's the thing. First of all, there's VStrides everywhere. There's a guy named AJ Cortez on fucking Twitter. He's T-Shreds. He's Twitter Shreds. He's just a really pretty guy with fucking, that is very, seems very sure of himself. His information is fucking shitbird. And I could make a video on him too. And I could keep making videos on Vince. Although a lot of people are making very good videos, very funny and entertaining videos. Sean Najaway makes some excellent videos of that genre. And I am focusing on helping people fucking get healthy. Why make comedy videos when the entire world is a circus? Why make videos for comedy when the entire world is a fucking joke right now. You know, like it's the same thing. Like I'm not making any more VStrides videos. If he mentions my name, well, I can't see me not saying something back. But why? Why in any other case would I just keep poking at that shit? Fuck, why? All it does is keep bringing his name up and keep it in the fucking algorithm. One, and two, he's gonna do him. I mean, it's at the stage where it's just a marketing thing, and it gets the newbies, and that's the way it happens. The best thing you can do is put out positive information outside of it. And most positive information is not going to actually get people fatter; it's going to be suppressed. But I'm not making any more VStrides videos. It's just not fucking happening. I'm going to try to talk about topics and use people's content to highlight aspects of healthy living and the health that I think I should, or aspects about other things about life that I want to talk about. Because I mean, Mark and I have the Gains Cast. We're doing it a couple times a week. It's our podcast, and we talk about every fucking thing under the sun. You should check that out. It's a Gains Cast on YouTube. It's a Gains Cast, on Spotify and on Apple Music. You should check that out. Me and him we're going to be on our 4th episode coming up soon. And we talk about every fucking thing. And if he comes up there, I'll talk about it. But I'm not going to sit down and do roast videos anymore at all. I have a hard enough time staying on this platform without them silencing me, suppressing me, fucking trying to delete my channels and shit like that, without making roasting videos that don't generate money. They just use time. They don't generate money. They don't actually help anybody. And actually, if anything, help Vince more because it keeps him in the algorithm. So no, I'm fucking done. Again, Sean Najaway makes great fucking videos on it. He really does. And I enjoy the rest of his content. So you can go to him for that content, for real. Thanks for talking about the clothes. It makes me frustrated that people get butthurt instead of making cutter less expensive the clothes. The clothing thing is a real issue. I just don't think that people view it the way it's supposed to be viewed. Like, if you need to buy a 6X shirt, fucking the problem is not the fucking poor selection of 6X shirts. The fact that you need a 6X fucking shirt. Like when I was wearing triple extra large, these things looked like fucking tents. Like now I wear like a large. If I want it to be tight, I wear a medium. Like, and I'm still a pretty big fucking dude. I'm still like 185, 190 pound dude, mostly muscle. Like, I mean, I'm just a lot leaner. Like there's no fucking. And if this is the case for me, if you need a 4X shirt or a 3X shirt, it's the case for me. Chances are, if you don't train the way I trained for 35 fucking years, chances are you're just fucking seriously fat like a motherfucker, and you should lose some fucking weight. Now, I do think that we need to pay more attention to how clothing is made for whatchamacallit. Clothing is made for obese people to work out in, because as I said in the video, I think it was yesterday, like stuffing fat folds into compressive material to sweat on is not very fucking sanitary, healthy, anything like that. It's how skin irritation definitely builds up quickly. It is definitely a fucking issue when it comes to bacterial buildup, things like necrotizing fasciitis, which is like bacteria. It's a flesh-eating bacteria. People die of it all the time. Obese people die of it all the time. But also the shoes, most obese people are at least pre-diabetic or have some sort of insulin resistance, blood sugar issues, stuff like that. They definitely have circulatory issues a lot of times. And so getting a sore on your foot when you're a morbidly obese person is a very fucking dangerous thing. Very dangerous thing. An obese person that gets a sore on their foot has a high chance of diabetic foot amputation. And obese people that get their feet amputated, they get an ambulatory amputation, normally only live about 2 years after the amputation. That's just the statistics, because what happens is they never get fitted for a prosthetic because of their weight and the weak nature of their bones, and they are still type 2 diabetic. They get depressed. They eat more. It just is this vicious cycle that kills them. And it's very dangerous. So proper fitted shoes when somebody is trying to start walking and going and being healthy is very, very, very important. It's not something that's paid enough attention to. I wish that that I had the money to start up a line, to do that. To start up a shoe line for obese people would be millions and millions of dollars. I've looked into it. It would be millions and millions of dollars for very little payback. And you'd still compete against everybody else that would probably just steal the idea. I wish somebody would just like really research it, because we have so many fat people. We have so many really seriously morbidly obese people. But like a morbidly obese person, it just like a morbidly obese woman, it just kind of shoves her fupa into her yoga pants. That's super dangerous, super dangerous for your skin and infections and everything like that. So I wish it was taken more seriously. I do. Let's see. Daniel Cisco, hey Alan, any advice for convincing my overweight friends and family to live a more active, healthy lifestyle? Thanks. Set the example. Like ask them to go do some active stuff, even if it's walk around the park, sightsee, that sort of thing. Try to involve them in healthy activities that they may like. If you know that your family used to like to do something, you could suggest doing it. If they say they can't because they don't want to walk, you can then have a conversation on why. I do believe that needs to be gingerly done at first. I have had conversations with my friends like, hey, you're fat. You're fat right now. You are not going to live long. We've talked about this over and over again, but you need to do something. I've had talked with my family members with it, like similar to that also. But that is just me. So I first would try to convince them in other ways, is what I'm saying. Tell them you love them, and because you love them, you want to be around a long time. That's what I tell Awesome Sauce all the time. What do you think? Why do you think healthcare continues to be sick care? Great term, by the way, and not focus on actually keeping people out of the hospital? Because hospital beds make money. Hospital beds make money. They don't make hospital beds. They don't build hospitals not to make money, and they don't make hospital beds to not be full. It's money. I mean, they can charge Medicare for an elderly person. A hospital can charge Medicare up to like $600 a day, and that's just for the bed. It's not including if there's a tier of pharmaceuticals they need to be on and stuff like that. It's an industry. The problem is that it is absolutely a business. It is absolutely business, and it's a big business. The sicker we are, the better they have it. There's no incentive, and I mean no incentive for these people to not have return customers, not because they make money, absolutely not. And there's only a finite number of people. Like that's why they're making more sick people. That's why they're perfectly good. Like nobody's talked about losing weight in a time when the second biggest factor in the pandemic is weight, and nobody's talking about it. They're giving away free Krispy Kreme and shit instead. Crazy. So money. How do you control carb cravings? Eat less carbs. But honestly, I focus my day on hydration first thing of the day. Then protein, healthy fats is almost always my first meal with some seasoning. I just had some ground meat not too long ago with some barbecue rub seasoning on it. This evening for dinner, I'll probably have some rice or something like that, and that's my carbohydrates. But I won't crave anything until I start actually with my glycemic response, physically crave. And I really don't get physical hunger anyway. But if you're looking for like actual cravings, there are multiple kinds of cravings. There are biological cravings where you have eaten something that's causing a glycemic response, an insulin response in your body that's causing you to want more. There is emotional cravings, and there's stress cravings too. So you got to deal with all of those. What's a TRX workout? TRX is a suspension system training system. It hangs from your door, basically. They were created by Navy SEALs, by the way. Thank you. Looking forward to it. Crystal is great. She is phenomenal. By the way, haven't been on in a month or so. You look like you've leaned up nicely, brother. Thank you very much. I actually added some food back in not too long ago, just to make sure I was, going correctly. When my face starts to get drawn in, I get a little worried. But also, I'm going to make a very serious hard push here for some physical training. I normally do over like November, December, January is when I like push really, 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 really intensely. So the way I work my body is I have very serious physical intense periods for about 3 months, and I take a month where I kind of just get movement in, and then 3 months movement, 3 months movement, 3 months movement, just to make sure at my old ass age that my body's recovering really well. Honestly, but my body recovers super, 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 super quickly, super well. But I do start feeling like I train at such kind of an intense level that I start feeling it a little bit. So every 3 months or so, I just give myself a month of kind of coasting, almost like a deload thing. But most of my deload workouts, most people would consider very strenuous workouts because I still do a lot of calisthenic, a lot of bodyweight stuff, and some high intensity work because that's just how I like to work. Patiently waiting for that appetite suppressant. We're working on it, man. We're working on it. Lots of moving parts. What do you think of people not wearing shorts in the gym, and how to properly tell them to put their shirt? Oh, I think you meant shirt. And how to properly tell them to put their shirt on. I think I would mind my own fucking business and not worry about what the fuck anybody else is doing in the gym. I used to wear a shirt. Don't bother me. You know, like then I had another one. Headphones in, your mouth closed. Like I'm very much into my own headspace when it comes to the gym. I don't pay attention to what any fucking body else does. I couldn't give a fuck what anybody else fucking does. I mind my own. I mind my own business. So that would be my thing about that. So finally got a notification for a live. No shit. Woohoo! Keep it up. You know you're doing something when the YouTube overlords don't like you. They haven't liked me for a long time. So just make one more Tyrone Fist at his video. No. I'm done. What else is left to say? I'm going to call him stupid again for the 100th time. I mean, there's so much other shit in the world that's like kind of also clownish, pathetic. You know, like Tyrone is not hurting anybody but himself. Nobody takes him seriously. You know, that job has been accomplished. Anybody that takes the Vinces seriously don't know well enough to believe me, and they're not going to believe me because it's just not. It's not. They're going to believe the pretty person. It's just not going to work. So, New Force testing by Friday 5 p.m. Or we sent home without pay. The testing, I don't know. I mean, I still think it's bullshit. They don't have a right to fucking know your fucking personal information, but you're not altering your DNA. We'll just put it that way. Dude, let's just have a private text. We can put our issues down one time for all. Okay, here's the thing, buddy. We don't have issues. I don't know who the fuck you are. I could not care who the fuck you are. I don't seek you out. I don't come to your fucking shit. I don't have you on notifications. I don't follow you any fucking where. You are a court jester to me that I fucking openly laugh at. We don't have issues. You have an issue with me. We don't have issues because I couldn't give a fuck who you are. I know in your little delusional world, because you have an issue, you think that means I would too, but we don't have issues. You do. I mean, I feel bad for you. I do. I really do feel bad for you. But we don't have issues, dude. You show up on my lives and we all laugh at you. That's the fucking thing. So, funny. Zappy needs one of those dating apps. He really does. He really does. I don't think Alan's one of the issues. No shit. That's the thing. So. Thank you for being you, speaking up about social issues that most people accept and foolishly defend. Love from Barbados. JJ Mac, thank you very much. I appreciate it. People surprise Pikachu face when you tell them that a 30XL costs more in materials to make and therefore they can pay more for the clothing. That's the shit too. But what also people don't understand, there are things called physical and structural limitations. You know, like you are not going to be able to construct a proper pair of jeans that look or fit in any way comfortably if you have material this wide between them. The seam will not hold. You know, it's the material. Some materials are not made to stretch and do the things that they want them to do. There's physical limitations. It's the same thing with their bodies. Like people can't, you can't tell my metabolic rate is perfect and I'm metabolically healthy, but gravity fucking exists and there's a structural limitation to your weak ass bones, and your bones are probably weak because you eat like garbage to get to be 350 fucking pounds. Just reality, you know? See. Beta's obsessed with hair today. They really are. Funny. Libertarian told me that the lack of competition is why hospitals and healthcare charge so much. Is there any truth to this? I personally think that here's how it should work. People should either pay taxes and then pay nothing else. Like if people want a true socialized healthcare, that would mean that doctors and hospitals need to accept there's no profit allowed. Like you can't have socialized healthcare and have profit attached to it. Like you can't. Like it needs to be a non-profit business, and prices are set. for compensation is set for individuals or for certain procedures, and that's what doctors get. There's no tiers, right? The problem with that is we would lack doctors wanting to do that shit, you know? So either that or the government should stay completely the fuck out of it and let the competitive market take care of shit. You know, that to me sounds more sensible. Do you have a deal going on for the coaching? Yes, we do. And Shadowcast, it is right there. Follow that link. And it's also the pinned one too. Let's see. Did it go through? Yes, it did. So right there it is, by the way. Wow, lots of questions. Shadowcast Prime. So yeah, it's a 3-month special that every 3 months you would get charged, but you can cancel it any time in there. And it's daily communications, VR app, weekly video conference calls. Crystal does live classes you have access to, pre-recorded classes, those sorts of things. So do check that out. Nice, thanks, brother. It's time to put the pill on the market. Like I said, I absolutely want to make sure that we want to make sure it's done right. But I agree, it's past time. It's a non-stimulant appetite suppressant that clinically works. It's shown in human studies to clinically work. It's got the clinical doses. It's past time. But we got to make sure it's done right. That's what I'm saying. And people can ask about the special all the fuck they want. People can ask about the special all they want. So let's see. Don Clance, I would absolutely pay for clothes to help me be comfortable, hide my loose skin and apron. Wearing my pants high isn't always comfortable. You know, the thing is, it's just like, it's not even a matter of comfort. It's almost dangerous. You know, we do in society just way fucking like, it's weird. Like people talk about loose skin like they should talk about obesity and they talk about obesity as if it's no big fucking deal. Like loose skin, loose skin is something that needs to be taken care of, maintained, but it is not like people like view it as this horrible thing. You need to keep it clean and healthy, but it's better than the actual roles that used to fill it. It really, really, really is. It's a badge of honor that you fucking overcame it. So, but clothing is not made to fit the average person that has loose skin or even fat rolls or anything like that. So. Your work is forcing you to get the shot or you get fired. I'm sorry to hear that. I agree with this though. Make them sign a liability contract and have the shot done I agree. Make them sign one. Make them sign one. Alan, being in a balanced BMI is so satisfying. Even my overweight family members are rather concerned. They're rather concerned because you're at a healthy BMI. I've heard that before plenty of fucking times. It's crazy shit. Let's see. Listen to us while doing your workout. Aaron, thank you very much. I appreciate it. What do you think about the Rey Misfits breaking up? I did not know they broke up. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with them. I do not watch other like the YouTube fitness group. I don't. I'm just letting everybody know right now. I have not watched any of their content in a while, besides the people that I was already following, and even them, I don't watch a lot of their content anymore. Like I said, I watch Sean Najway's videos when they come up. I watch Geoff when I have time. I've been watching a lot more shit that's focused around the actual fucking world going on around us versus what fitness person said what about what other fitness person. Jason Bray, how am I doing? I'm doing fucking awesome. Thoughts on hyperbolic oxygen chambers? I hear that they work pretty well for recovery. I don't know enough about them to actually make a true statement on it, though, but that's just what I hear. You can't just magically expand the size of clothing design. Design clothing properly isn't just an art form, but it's also a form of engineering. Exactly. There you go. And It's harder for me to find clothes now that I've loose skin than when I was obese. I don't have a lot though. I don't plan on getting it removed unless it's actually like a medical necessity. I wouldn't get it removed either. I really, really fucking wouldn't. Why don't we see super skinny people talking about body acceptance when they get shamed too? I mean, they get shamed by the fat acceptance people often. So fucking pretty sad. How are you today, Alan? I am fucking phenomenal. But on that note, I'm going to one more time put in that this is our 3-month coaching special. It's been about right at an hour. And I am going to get back to work and talk to some clients and get some other shit done. So I hope all of you had a good fucking time. I appreciate you joining in. Like I said, I'm going to be going live much more often. Mark and I will probably be doing a gains cast here either Thursday or Friday, or tomorrow or Friday. I'm going to talk to him later on. And we're going to figure it out. You can check out the gains cast on every major podcast area, Spotify, Apple. We're even going to be able to do the video for Spotify soon too, I think, which is very fucking cool. But let me know how you feel about it, and I hope you all have a great fucking day.